All right. Greetings. Hello. Hi. We're all doing well. Let me just do this real quick. Welcome, Mario Plays Gaming and the Rabbit Dude. Welcome you both to a very festive Christmas special stream here. Hope you're doing well. We'll get on some music in a bit. Just hang on to your horses real quick. The power of two Brits. You're the second Brit to arrive. Yeah, welcome, Morgan. Welcome. Welcome. I don't have a horse to hang on to. Oh, crikey. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a very good Christmas Eve so far. Welcome, Sebastian. Welcome in. Welcome, Stitch, as well. Welcome in. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. I literally just got back, like, literally a few seconds ago. Yeah, I just got back a few seconds ago. Had some McDonald's, and pretty good, if I do say so myself. Now, let me put on some music here. I'm gonna put on some Sonic music. Excuse me. Right. I don't know how loud this is gonna be, but here we go. Okay, it's not actually that bad. How is it on the wave? Okay, it's not that bad. Probably gonna turn it down in OBS. Alright, there we go. Yo. Let's see. My Christmas will involve chaos, as usual in my family, especially with nothing on TV anymore. Yep, that's a very normal thing to happen. I'm pretty sure they'll have some like old Christmas specials running like on Challenge TV or something like that. I don't know. Merry Welcomers. Welcome, James. Have I watched Sonic 3 yet? No, I'm seeing that next year, in January. You saw the movie. I've heard it outbeat Mufasa, I think. Is that the other movie that came out at the same time as Sonic 3? Yeah, I heard it. I heard the third Sonic movie had like a Guinness World Record for like the most like amount of thing of it. Sonic 3 is the best game adaptation by far. Well, that is promising. I'm super excited to see Sonic 3 in January. Gonna be so hype. I'm seeing it on Friday. You have no clue how Nintendo can come close to the hype that Final Act had in Sonic 3. I have seen you know, some videos of it being already out there on the internet. I just gone ahead and you know, just put not interested or don't recommend this channel. You know. I'm sure. Look, I personally think, you know, whenever we get this next Mario movie, I definitely think it will be hype. You know, I definitely think it will be hype. But will it? But will it top what Sonic 3 had this year? I have no idea. What did I order from McDonald's? I had a. I always feel like I messed this up. It's a chicken McCrispy, I think it's called. I think that's what it's called. If you've ever had it before, then you'll know. It'll be hype, but when you watch that, find out, oh man, whew, well, I'm seeing it in January on a Friday, so yeah, it is gonna be very awesome. You had McDonald's like once or twice in your whole life? That's crazy. Who here, out of curiosity, has been to McDonald's, like, let's just say fairly recently? Let's change the music while we're at it. Okay, that's not it. There we go. That's a lot better. Yo, Frog Boy, what is up? You have like 2 weeks ago? Okay. Your parents don't like the food. Interesting. Big Tasties to go. Hey, that's a great burger. I've had it a couple of times. That is a fantastic burger. But man, when they had the McRib in the UK, wow, was it so good. It was so freaking good. Now I understand why the McRib was like so crazily praised. You actually prefer McDonald's over Burger King? Well, that's your preference, isn't it? Yeah. Speaking of the Generations music, I was actually playing earlier today a bit of Sonic Generations 3DS. Been trying to see if I can try and S rank the game. So far, I've done it with Green Hill Zone, and what else? Carnival. I think it's called Carnival Night, if I'm correct in thinking. I mean, I have it in my 2DS, so I could probably just boot it up, but music's a little low. Hang on. Is that better? Yo, Matt, what up? Yo, Mattia. Watching from Spain. Nice. Hope Spain's good. I don't think you've ever told. Did you tell us in the group chat that you were going to Spain? I don't think you did. Unless you did, and I just didn't pay attention. Nice. Hope you have a good time in Malaga. How's me? Yeah, I'm just chilling. Just got back not too long ago. Had McDonald's. And just talking about Sonic Generations 3DS. You told Jaden, but you don't think you've told it to everyone. Yeah, I probably would know. I probably would know if you told me, but yeah, you didn't. You're currently playing Princess Peach Showtime. If you want to get it, I won't spoil the game. I've seen the game, and let's just say it's quite pathetically easy. Like, I watched Savannah or Purple Phoenix play that game when it like first came out, and I watched it because like I knew I wasn't probably going to get it. I mean, maybe at some point, maybe I'll try it out for myself, maybe stream it, but I wasn't in no rush to really get it. But Yeah, I'm honestly not in any rush to really. That's it. I need to play Mario and Luigi Brothership. I've heard good things. I know, again, Purple Phoenix, which, speaking of which, since she's not here, or maybe she is here and she probably might be lurking, I'm gonna plug her. I'm gonna plug her channel. You don't like the game? I mean, personal preference at the end of the day. You might like one game, you might not like the other. It's everybody's opinions at the end of the day, eh? I mean, look, you know. At the end of the day, I don't want to say so much about Mario and Luigi Brothership because I'm not really that huge of a RPG guy, but I would love to try some like Mario RPG games, or maybe because in an unreleased video we did talk about it. Can't really say which one unless you've been in my server where I gave a quick sneak peek of what I was working on. Let's see. It may be an easy game, but it takes about as long as Paper Mario Color Splash to beat, whether you're going for 100% or any percent, around 8 to 9 hours. I just think Princess Peach Showtime just, you know. Look, I know what the market is with Princess Peach Showtime, but like if you compared it to, let's say, like, you know, Super Princess Peach, which was a DS game, it's like night and day difference between, you know, a Switch game and a DS game. Peach Showtime was a 4 out of 10. I mean, look, you know, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, while I may look at that and be like, could have been better, could have been worse, you know. It's just, I don't know. It's just a something, you know. It's kind of like, you know. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Like, if you love Princess Peach Showtime, more power to you. But honestly, you know, it looked. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked the presentation, but for how, like, you know, easy it is just to complete, it's kind of like, well, what do you do after that? Like, what, you know, like, I know it has some replay like value, but it's not much, you know. It is definitely not much. Nintendo only had like 3 good games this year, and one of them was a remake. Yeah, I know Paper Mario Thousand Year Door was like universally praised, and I'm talking about the remake, not the one on the GameCube. What else? What else that came out? I know Luigi's Mansion 2, that was a good one. I played that one. I honestly enjoyed playing Luigi's Mansion 2, you know, when that came out. Honestly, when I originally saw Princess Peach Showtime, I wanted more of a Super Princess Peach game. Yeah, I felt like it was kind of trying to be like I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call it a sequel. In that case, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call it a sequel. It's more of a like a new reboot. Oh, the Thousand Year Door, Mario Party Jamboree and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, they were all fantastic games. I haven't played those 3, but I've seen them. Well, mainly because you know who was playing them. Luigi's Mansion 2 was definitely good. Yeah. To be honest, you don't like Luigi's Mansion 2. I mean, don't get me... Okay, I will say, like, the constant, like, interrupting were your missions of like Professor Egad saying, you know, ooh, you did well. Now you have to do this, or it takes you back and makes you do that. You know, I that's the only thing I will give, you know, the second game a lot of crap for, because it's kind of just like, well, you could have just done this, like, you could have just put all those missions in like one big massive area, you know, rather than just do one mission, complete the mission, take you back, you know, you just go ahead and get started with, like, you immediately start the next mission, and if you click quit, then that's where it takes you back, you know. That's where I am with the game, but honestly, I just love it, you know. It's a great game, the Skyscraper was fun. The only thing I wish this HD remaster has, it like personally for me anyways, and you know, for those who play games on stream, is like a room ID. Like, you know, like how Mario Kart and Splatoon and these other, like, you know, multiplayer games like have them. I kind of wish Luigi's Mansion 2 HD had that. Now look, I know it probably wasn't the focus. I know it wasn't the focus for, you know, the whole majority of Luigi's Mansion 2, because mainly it was mainly parts of, you know, it mainly just focused on the story mode, is what I'm trying to get at. You know, I think there was a more bigger emphasis on the story mode over the online mode, but there was an online mode for, let's say, you know, because like in any Nintendo game, it's like once you've done like the main offline things, you're mainly gonna go into that game again to just play online, and that's where your majority of your playtime is gonna be. You vastly prefer the first one, and you haven't played the third one since launch, so I can't really say much there. I haven't played the first one. I do have the third one. I definitely do want to play that. I mean, I've been meaning to probably get it around. You know, I've been meaning to get around to that game after the second one, but I never did. Who knows? Who knows, maybe that will change in 2025. And I know the first one also has like a 3DS remake, which I hope, you know, if, let's say, Luigi's Mansion 1 gets ported to, you know, the Nintendo Switch. What downloaded? Tweaker game just downloaded. Just downloaded an update, that's cool. But yeah, like, if it gets ported to this, like, I definitely think a lot of people will buy it. And personally, I probably would as well. Definitely a lot of people will buy it. Like, don't get me wrong, the 3DS one was fine, but it was like, it was released, like, I think, personally, I personally think the 3DS remake was kind of poor timing. I mean, I know it was already probably very deep in development on the remake, so they probably saw that the 3DS, like the Switch, like had came out, and basically, had basically already released at that point. So, yeah, I don't know. Why does my left Joy-Con have 2 buttons on the bottom? Switch 2. No, these are not the Switch 2. These are just some third-party Joy-Cons here. You know, it's like one of those this one has like a glowing neon thing. Can I make it? There you go. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. But this one of them is obviously, you know, the obvious screenshot button, but the other one's like a turbo. These aren't that brilliant. I mean, I have the original blue one, which I need to figure out how to maybe like you know, maybe stop the Joy-Con drift on this blue one. I mean, if I put this on, I mean, the other thing as well is, if you can see when I press any buttons, there's no light on them. Kind of unfortunate. But yeah, you know, there's what it looks like with both of them on. Let me go. Okay, there we go. So am I going anywhere for Christmas? Nope. I am not going anywhere for Christmas, just chilling and staying at home. I did see someone ask, what am I getting for Christmas? Who asked that? Let's see. Yeah. What did I ask Santa for Christmas this year? The only thing that I've asked, I don't know what my mum or what my mum might have gotten me, is some new like headphones. They are Sony branded. Like these ones, like behind me, like these ones, right? These are also like Sony like headphones here. It also just occurred to me that the logo is like is a bit like faded as well. It's fading away slowly. Oh well. I mean, I'm getting new ones anyway, so I don't know. I might still continue to use those for like maybe if I'm on my laptop here, video editing, which I was doing obviously as well earlier on. What's my favourite Christmas dinner food? Yours is turkey. I don't know. To be honest, you know, it's. I don't really think about what's my favourite Christmas food. It's just food to me. Yo, Kiki, what is up? Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas Eve to you. Welcome to a chatting stream with James Likes to Game. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a good while since the Mario Kart DS stream. Which I know there's hardly been activity video-wise or live streaming-wise on this channel. And I do recognise that. Anyways, yeah, as I was talking about with Generations 3DS, I was playing this earlier. I was actually playing it on my original Aqua Blue 3DS right here. Next stream, 2nd of the first 25. For a gaming stream, yes. But there will actually be one other stream before that, which I haven't really announced yet. You'll see closer to the time. You'll see it closer to the time. But yeah, Sonic Generations 3DS. What I found interesting was I was watching Sam Procrastinate's channel. I was watching his 3DS one, and I think he asked, like, you know, how many months did this version have in like development? It was interesting because it was like 6 months. So it's like that is just fascinating that a version like this was developed in like 6 months. That's very unheard of. I don't know, there might have been other games that might have been also developed in 6 months, but for a 3DS game like Generations, it's quite interesting. Also, you know, like the controls and everything. It's interesting because, like, you know, in normal generations or like the console generations, you know, let's say if you wanted to go for an S rank, usually you would just boost as much as you can and hit a lot of enemies, collect amount of rings as well. Because that's where the console one is. It's like more of the focus. Whereas the 3DS one, it's more like how fast can you get to the goal in time. Which is one thing I found interesting because it's like all of it had like very long times. Because if you think about it, right, like I know Shadow Generations and Sonic Generations like ones are the I don't know. It's like basically you boost a lot, you know, in the levels, and you essentially just boost a lot. Hopefully if you've had enough rings, you know, scored a lot of points and defeated enemies, you would get the S rank. But in this one, it's like get the lowest time and you'll get an S rank. Also, special stages to get the Chaos Emeralds are definitely handled. I don't know. Would I say that getting the Chaos Emeralds is handled better in the 3DS version than on the console version? I don't know. I haven't played enough Sonic Generations, which I do have on my Switch. I might need to play a little bit more. Should hopefully get Mario Kart Wii. If you don't, then what is it? What is it? Have fun chatting. Hey, no worries, Kiki. Thanks for stopping on by. What else? What else? I guess another topic of discussion is that someone, like a case manufacturer, had like sent like a 3D printed like look at the Nintendo Switch 2, which I know, you know, I know this talking about the Switch 2 has just basically been ran into the ground like more times than, you know, my life choices could ever say or could suffice. Yo, Jonathan, what is up? Merry Christmas Eve. I don't know. Look, when the next console does eventually, and I say eventually, releases, I definitely think it will be. It will definitely put to sleep all of the, you know, the rumors, the news, the channels talking about it, you know, all that stuff. It will definitely put all that stuff to rest. Because, you know, like with the current Switch hardware, you know, we know it's underpowered, and, you know, there's definitely a lot of like games that have to be held back. You know, they have to be held back because of the Switch. But I'm hoping, you know, with the Switch 2, that them having to hold it back won't be an issue anymore. I mean, look, if you think about it, Nintendo has never had like super duper powerful hardware, you know? And they've never had like the best hardware. But they do have they do make up the very weak hardwares for some great games. And like Nintendo, like out of any video game company, are literally the ones like the only people who know how to make very good games and know how to take a full advantage of the hardware is Nintendo themselves. It's like not a secret, isn't it? Which is why I think, like third-party companies sometimes often struggle with this, because it's a problem of because they're not focused on one particular console, they're making like one game for like PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. All those platforms. So they have to not only have to make it look good on the higher powerful consoles, but then they have to figure out what do they do with this very low power, very weak hardware. They had the best hardware in the GameCube era, to be fair. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that, because like you could definitely tell that was like the last console where Nintendo really, packed a lot of power into like a cube-shaped console. So yeah, I do agree. But then when we get to the Wii era, this is I think the Wii is where Nintendo's strategy shifts from like the hardcore gamers, with the power and everything, to more of the casual market, to basically not having the greatest hardware but making it up for in great games. And personally, that's where it has been ever since. With the DS, I mean, obviously, the DS came out prior to that. But it really did start to really feel that way around the Wii era. The Wii era definitely cemented, Nintendo's shift away from, having the most powerful console and graphics and all this stuff, to more of the experiences, the new ideas and controller and everything. I mean, they did just reuse the majority of the graphics engine from the GameCube to make the Wii. So they already had a fundamental base with the Wii, because essentially it's a continuation. The Wii is essentially a continued Nintendo GameCube. That's it. They just basically repurposed the GameCube and just changed a couple things and sold you it as the Wii. At least the good thing is it now has a full DVD. Nintendo Wii is the best. The Wii is the best. Welcome, David. You're doing well. Merry Christmas Eve to you. But yeah, the Wii definitely... It was definitely a shift in strategy for Nintendo. And it has, continued pretty much, I could say, today. Even with the Switch. SpongeBob 150 games console is actually the best. Crikey. Now look, I have played on other consoles, I have played on an Xbox, I have played on, some PlayStation consoles and handhelds. Obviously, I only have the PlayStation 1. I have played on the PlayStation 2 when I was at my old school. And the PSP, the Vita, And yeah, but majority of my time has majority of my gaming time has spent on the on majority of the Nintendo console, if you think about it. Also, can we get a hashtag 10 like hype in the chat? We just hit 10 likes on the stream. Thank you so much. Yeah. Look, what I'll say to just circle this back around to the Switch 2, because I feel like I've gone on just a massive tangent. 9 actually. It's showing 10 for me. If on desktop it's just so, if you're on desktop it doesn't even like live update the like counter, but on mobile I think it should relatively, but doesn't. Yo, Crazy Chaos, welcome in. Merry Christmas Eve to you. But yeah, you know, refresh the page and it's 10 now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, YouTube's weird. YouTube's weird. Honestly, it's so incredibly weird. I have also seen as well in my YouTube studio as well that they now have like a AI training thing they have, and it's like, you know, kind of a weird thing to just show, you know, like I understand what the purpose is really, but it's like, what's the point? You know, I mean, I'm glad that by default it is turned off. That's one thing I will say, chat. It is turned off, and you know, that's what I like. You know, if an option is turned off by default, that means the creator has to do minimal changes. You know, which is kind of also ironic as well if you think about it, because like, you know, the remixing feature on YouTube, like the shorts remixing thing, if you get what I'm talking about, that is always on by default. Now, I personally don't care, you know, about that, because, well, why should I? Why should I? But, you know, it's just interesting, you know. It's just interesting that it's just interesting that YouTube introduced that. Like, if like, if you, let's say like you did check the box, you can like select which companies allow it, and like which don't. Which there is also another option under it as well, like to be like, you know, all companies can have it. Which I know, you know, YouTube is trying to get ahead of, like, you know, trying to make sure, you know, because if you remember, there was like some headlines going out at that time of like like certain AI like training models, like companies were just literally just downloading and using like lots and lots of like videos across the internet on this platform. Now, I don't know if that applies to live streaming, mind you, but it's honestly just an interesting perspective, you know. It's definitely just an interesting perspective to think. Like, I know what like I said, I know what YouTube's doing. Is just like, you know, it's just an easier way to say, hey, you know, we're introducing this feature to you so that, you know, by default, it's currently off. So basically, you don't have to do anything. Yeah. Fun times as a content creator. Okay. I definitely want to, you know, in the upcoming year, try and be a lot more active across both this channel and my item box channel. Because I feel like this year has been... It hasn't felt like, you know, there was like enough output of content for you all. I mean, look, there's been lots of live streams that you all enjoy, you know. And I enjoy, you know, interacting with every single one of yous, you know. Every single one of yous who pops on by, says hi, you know. Even if I, you know, might pronounce your name wrong there. But, you know, you can always correct me on that. I don't get it right all the time, full disclaimer. But, you know, just welcome aboard, I guess. And if you don't plan to, say, hey, well, that's just how you want to roll. You know, that's just on you. Right. Let me change. Yeah, I'm still working on the video. If you saw, if you follow me on my Instagram, you may have seen what video I've been working on, and I've also like had a blurry thumbnail teaser for the video on my community tab, and you know, there's lots of things I want to try and do, you know, this next this next year that's coming up. You know, I do want to try and be active and not be, you know, I mean, at least one thing I will say is I did feel active in the live streams, which I'm doing now. I did feel more active in the live streams, which is like, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I like the live streams. You know, it can help you build like a great sense of a community. It builds you a great sense of community, but let's say, if I wanted to have, like, you know, some new people, you know, I have to post videos, you know. That's just the simple truth of being a content creator. You know, you just have to post, you just have to post videos, you know, because that's how you're going to get your new people to your channel at the end of the day. Yeah. Hope you all are currently enjoying me yapping so far. If you are indeed enjoying it, be sure to give it a like. And if you are, of course, new here, because, you know, not everyone has previously seen this channel before, then consider hitting the subscribe button. Like Blue Yoshi fan, welcome. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. And Merry Christmas. But yeah. Oh, and might as well show you this as well. Let's see. So obviously, I also got, you know, another controller for the Wii. So here you go. The Yoshi, like, it's obviously, you know, a GameCube controller, but it's like in the style of a GameCube. Like, the buttons are pretty much like, well, a GameCube controller. In fact, I have one right here. Let me go grab it. Also, I just found like a memory card, which I believe has a more completed Mario Kart Double Dash save file on it. I don't know where the other one went, to be honest. Anyways, here is here is the, like this controller versus, an actual GameCube controller, and you can see like the button layout is pretty much like, it's pretty much like, a GameCube controller, which is what this controller is. Now mind you, this is a third-party controller, so most games will just treat this as a classic controller. I have yet to play like a game with this yet. I bought this like right around this month, but I've never actually played a game. I mean, holding it is very nice. I will say that. I just like how the ZL and ZR buttons are analog and the R and L and R buttons are more like digital controller like buttons. Fun, right? What else? Oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of games that released this year, obviously Sonic Cross Shadow Generations came out, and I do have to say it's actually been a very like fun game to play through, particularly in Shadow Generations because that is all the like new content chat. I like how the Shadow Generations version of White Space is more akin to a mini Sonic Frontiers. I mean, there is a Sonic Frontiers like island, like Chaos Island, in Shadow Generations. I was like, where the hell is that coming from? And I just realised it's What I'm Made Of remix. What else? Yeah, but yes, Shadow Generations pretty dang fun. I've still got more things I still want to do with that game as well. So probably might be there probably will be some streams on that game as well. I haven't even played the new. What is it? I haven't played the movie Shadow DLC either, as well. That's another one I haven't played. Both on stream and on my Switch. I'll probably have already played it on my Switch. Currently, I'm just trying to get through all the rest of the game, unlock everything. Like, I'm trying to unlock everything, like, collectible wise. So I'm just trying to get through that. So I have had to flip around like a few videos, like a completed collection room and everything, and then going back to the video with all the timestamps to find it, So. Always fun. But honestly, I love Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. I don't doubt when I see Sonic 3, I don't doubt for a fact that they will be promoting the hell of it during like the run up to the movie starting for those. I definitely think there will be some advertisements for that. I don't doubt it. Excuse me. Yeah. 2024 has been quite, insane this year. Well, in where I am, in the space of where I am, gaming wise, from Sega, from Nintendo. There's obviously been games from Microsoft and every other publishers, but we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them. And yeah, and the fact that there's a new Sonic racing game coming out next year. Sonic Superstars being called a disappointment. Wow, 2024 has been quite the punch. You know, I thought, you know, maybe 2024 would be more of a more quieter year for gaming. You know, like from Sega, from Nintendo, and all that other stuff, all that stuff. You know, I kind of thought 2024 was going to be more of a quiet year for gaming. Like, there's not going to be a whole lot that might come out. Like, there'll still be games that might get announced and talked about, but like in terms of like what I originally thought 2024 was going to be like versus what 2024 actually, you know, turned out to be, is two different things. You know, like you have like, you know, those like expectations versus reality, like kind of ones. I wouldn't say those were my expectations. I say that was more of like, here's my prediction, here's what reality looked like. Well, my 2025 goals, you have a lot of them. I don't want to promise anything, because then, you know, that's just me committing to it, but I want to try and be more active in producing videos, both on, you know, this channel and my other channel. You know, I want to try and maybe be active a little bit more on my other social media accounts, you know, like post some behind the scenes stuff, and, you know, like on my Instagram, you know, I post some things on Twitter, on Threads. You know, in terms of live streaming, I don't know, to be honest, because, you know, I feel like, you know, videos this year has been quite lacking, you know, and that's just mainly because of my my kind of like laziness with that. You know, sometimes I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm locked in, unless like I was in an environment, or like I've either scheduled it and I have to commit to it, you know. Which is why ever since I deleted the live streams, and you haven't seen you pretty much haven't seen a new schedule ever since. And you know, it did tank the channel, you know. I will admit, you know, it did tank my channel. But yeah, I definitely want to try and maybe, you know, improve on that. And who knows, maybe by the time we get to December of next year, maybe all of this would have, you know, what I've been doing and what I've versus, you know, this year. I personally think, you know, now, look, I don't want to make any promises again, you know, because then if you do, then, you know, it's kind of like a betray of trust, you know? It's like, how dare you? You know? I definitely want to try and make more content. I want to do more like of the, you know, the ones where you just have gameplay. You know, just like have a gameplay somewhere in the corner, and then, you know, you just have me just talking. You know, I kind of want to try a bit of that from every once in a while, when I think, you know, it's just an interesting topic, to say the least. You know, obviously I still want to do more, you know, just like the entertaining gameplay videos. You know, so like, you know, Mario Kart. I definitely want to play some like other ones. I definitely want to try and maybe do like Let's Play series where I could do it as like a whereas I can do it as like a video series, if you know what I mean. I don't know. There's a lot to think about. Also, I'm just gonna. I'll just skip a couple of music. If there's any music like any video game music you want me to play, let me know. I mean, I'm not monetized anyways, so even if I get copyright claimed, you know, whatever. I mean, I've been copyright claimed for like old like music in the past, like when I was playing Mario 64 and whatnot, you know. And I definitely want to also get better on when I'm on these like live streams of like, you know, just chatting, you know, just keep chatting, even if you know the live chat right now isn't really moving a whole lot. I'm just gonna just look at it as like if there's like a million different like a million different chats just like popping up like boom 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 boom, you know. Because you know sometimes I do forget, you know, like when I'm locked into a game, I sometimes forget that I'm also live and I have to make sure, you know, I'm interacting with you lot in chat, which you know. You know, so I want to make sure, you know, like, because one of the things that I think that like, you know, when you're live, especially when you when you first start streaming, like, you're going to be streaming to absolutely nobody. There's like, it's going to be an empty chat. Also, welcome back, Rabbit Dude. Welcome back. What else? You know, I want to get better at just, you know, because I have to, you know, keep reminding myself that, oh yeah, there's a chat there, you know, they're telling me things and I'm responding to what, you know, of what they're telling me. You know, a lot of gestures, as you can probably tell. You know, I do this, and then I do a bit of this, and then I do a this, you know. What am I even doing with my life? I'm so retarded right now. Let's see, Ivy. Merry Christmas Eve. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Honestly, for this year, I hope to, you know, just up it, you know. I want to definitely try making some reviews as well for games. If there's, like, any games you want me to, like, you know, do a review on, or just, you know, or if you just want me to just casually just, excuse me, or just, like, casually just, you know, have me talk about, let me know. Let me know. Getting held hostage to play Minecraft with little children, but other than that, good. Okay. Interesting way to start that. But carry on. This is the one day of the year that feels so exciting. It gets slower, especially at night, because I have to keep my tree lights on for tomorrow morning. Interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the I'm pretty sure the lights will probably be off in like the Christmas tree lights will definitely be off for sure. I just realised as well that the DDR Classic Mini was also released this year. Dang. To be honest, as I gotten older today and TMRW has gotten less and less special this year, it feels like a normal day for you. You know, I think, personally for me, you know, when you're, okay, I'm pretty sure we can all agree here, when you're a kid, like, you're hella, like, excited. It's like, oh my god, 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 I can't hold my excitement. I just want Santa to just, you know, come to my house for all the presents, you know. You know, you're that incredibly excited for it, so it's just like, you know, you just can't, like, contain yourself. I feel like when you're an adult, you know, when you grow up and you know, as you age over time, the excitement starts kind of like, you know, dwelling and starts like kind of fading away, and you start feeling like, because you know you probably would buy things anyways throughout, you know, the year, right? Like new games, new, I don't know, new food, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things, you know. So whenever it's like, you know, whenever you get around to Christmas time, it's always like it's always like that one like month of like, shit, what do I even want for Christmas? You know? And then when you actually get it on Christmas Day, you don't feel as excited. Like, Christmas to me started getting less exciting as I started, you know, going a bit older. Like right now, I'm 22, and I'll be 23 next in January. Let's see. Yeah, it starts to get less exciting, you know. To almost a point, yeah, you could also kind of say, you know, it does kind of get to the point where it does kind of feel like a normal day. But then you also realize, oh yeah, I have these decorations up in my house to remind me, oh yeah, it is December, it is that Christmas time. The one thing I will never understand about what some people do is they'll have the decorations up prior to December. Like, who does that? Like seriously, who does that? You know? Like, why would you put your decorations prior to Christmas? You know, prior to December. You know, because like our Christmas decorations were put up literally the month of December. You know, so it's just kind of like, to those who put them out before that, it's like, okay, I know you're preparing, but like, why are you doing it so early? Like, I've even had I think there was one case around where I live who had the decorations up as early as September. Let that sink in, okay? Someone had the Christmas decorations up as early as September. Bro, it's still warm outside at that point. Well, almost warm anyways. But it's like fall season, you know? You had your Christmas tree up in October. You're insane, I'll say that. And you know what's fun? And you know what's kind of like funny to me is like, I know, like 3 years ago. Okay, fair enough then. What's funny about it as well is like, there'll be some points, right? There'll be some points where, let's say if it's like, you know, spring and summertime, right? You could still find people, like, even if it's like blistering hot sun, you could still find someone wearing a jacket in that weather. And I'm like, how the hell are you not sweating like cobs in that jacket? You know? Like, are you okay? Are you normal? Like, do I need to call like, you know, a therapist and get you checked out? And then, you know, and then the opposite happens where, you know, it could be like, you know, it could be cold. Like right now it's cold, but it's not actually that bad. It's cold, but you get my point. You could find like I don't know why some men do this. It's like, why are you wearing shorts in the cold weather. Bro, summer had already, like, came and gone. You know? Like, you're kind of late to the party, if you ask me. It's like, how are you not cold? Like, how is your legs not icing up? You saw someone walking into school with no jacket while it was 20 degrees Fahrenheit? Dang. Look, if this is you, fine, fair enough. But, like, I'll never, ever in my life understand why certain people do this. Like, why is it that in the summer, some people will have the jackets on? What, and then why is it that some people, and why is it's so mind-boggling to me. It's like a concept I cannot even comprehend. You know, what the hell is wrong with this world? What is wrong with society? You know. And by the way, if this feels like I'm calling you out, don't ever feel bad. It just mind boggles me, chat. It mind boggles me that there are people out there that do that, and it's just insane. You know, it's just insane. Like, what? Like what? Like, oh my god. The more I try and think about this, the more it just wants my brain to, like, you know, spark and set on fire. And crash. It honestly mind boggles me. It really does. It really does mind. It does. It really does mind boggle me, like, of that case. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up talking about that. Is there anything you lot? Is there anything you lot want to talk about? Anything interesting that happened this year? You got sick again last Friday. You made a recovery. Okay, that's good. Because the weather is just frigid. It's either dress properly, whether you're going to go out or not, or get sniffles all day long. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like the more I try and understand, the more it's just like it's gonna get me absolutely nowhere. So I'm just gonna not even try any further to try and comprehend it. So I feel like my brain has already exploded trying to comprehend all that. Yeah. Also, yeah, another thing this year, kind of unrelated to gaming or anything, but more or less IRL, is I had a work placement at the range. Okay. Which, if you don't know what the range is, I'll just tell you what it is. Yo, stop motion Sword Art Stories, welcome in. Yo, you're on holiday in Mexico. Hope you're enjoying it. How is it in the UK? you live in the UK. Would I tell you if it's no difference from when you're also here in this country? Same old, you know. But yeah, hope you enjoy your holiday in Mexico. You know. Yeah, I had a work placement at the range. If you don't know what the range is, essentially it's like a retail store in the UK. I don't know if there's like any if the range ever has like European stores. I definitely don't think for a second like there is none in the Americas. Like there's no range in there. Yeah. Well, yeah, that lasted from February until October. So yeah. I mean, I had a good time when I was on work placement, but you know, it's like you can't be on work placement for like the rest of your life, right? At some point you want to start like, you know, like being like, hey, you know, are you gonna hire me? Like, you know, what's the deal? Like, you know, are you gonna stop paying me? You know? Have I seen Sonic 3? No. Seeing it next month in January, which is next month. I don't know why January came out of my mouth when I said next month. You know what the next month is, but I'll be seeing it on the 3rd of Friday the 3rd. Where you're not getting paid. It's called work placement, so basically you're basically there like to see whether or not, you know, the company would be like, you know, they would like think of like hiring you. And it's supposed to be for 3 months, okay? It was, the work placement was only meant to be for 3 months. I was there for 8 months. Kind of like a free trial. Essentially, yeah. But then after the 3 months, like, you know, they kept me on, like, because they said, you know, like, I was a great worker, you know, I was talkative. Well, at first I wasn't, but then I was later down the road. But you know, it was at some point, like, because they've never told me. They never told me it's like, okay, 3 months are almost coming to a close. Do you want to just keep carrying on? Like, there was none of that. Okay? There was none of that. After the 3 months, I was basically like, you know, like a volunteer. You know? Like a volunteer where you just don't get where you essentially, you know, like if you've ever been to a charity shop, because, you know, you can volunteer yourself at like a charity shop. Yeah, I was there without like given an option of like being like, okay, 3 months are coming up. Do you want to carry on, or do you want to like end it? There's no option. There is no option. Also, Ro, welcome. Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well. There was no option. Like, I wasn't given that option. Okay? I just assumed, like, you know, I just assumed, like, okay, like no. Look, what I will say is, like, maybe there probably might have just been some misunderstanding, miscommunication on both parties. So, whatever. But I was there at the range for 8 months. 8 months! I was there, unpaid. And I've heard as well, some people were at, like, well, not the range specifically, but, like, some people I've heard from people who work at the range, said they've had some of they've had someone that is, like, someone that, well, not specifically at the range, I want to just preface this. Someone at a different building was like that had been there for, like, I think 3 years, and I'm like, no, that's insane. And then recently there was one that was like, someone was, like, unpaid, volunteered for 20 years. How the hell do you, sorry, but how do you just, like, work at a place and being like, how do you work for 20 years of your life getting nothing? You get no money. You get zero. $8 months is more than doable. The thing is, it was just insane. Like, it was just insane to me. Like, it didn't occur to me at the time, but it was just. But now that when I think of, then what? Then what I then but the more I think about it, it now just occurs to me that I'm just like, oh yeah, why am I here? Was I not supposed to have been hired or something? I mean, I know I shouldn't really supposed to be talking about this, but it honestly, I just don't understand, like, why as a company, like, as a nationwide company, which I don't know if the range does exist anywhere else outside of the UK. But as a nationwide company, you would think, like, yeah, okay, we like this guy, let's hire him. Let's hire him on a payroll. Would think that, but clearly, it clearly wasn't the case. And it was clearly like, like, enough is enough, Enough is enough, and so I ended my work placement after 8 months. And the one thing is as well is, which I haven't told, I did go through an interview process. At some point, I can't remember when. So if you try and ask me at some point if there was an interview, I did have an interview. I went through one. Like, because I think there was, like, they started, like, hiring, so many people were trying to, like, were submitting the CVs into the range to see if they can hopefully get the job. So I went the on Friday. Excuse me. I went there on Friday. I was waiting, just chilling, waiting on this interview. And then eventually, the interview started, I answered the questions. I they gave me the questions, I answered them, and then at the end of the day, like I walked out the door. I gave, and so the following Wednesday, I want to say, the following Wednesday, I decided to not talk about it. I gave it like a little bit of a grace period, like a gap between where the interview had like took place, and then when I did eventually ask it. Okay. So because I don't want to the following week just immediately on that Wednesday immediately ask okay, did you get through the interview process? Video idea, loads of videos into one, a compilation of videos to listen when you're going to sleep. It's a good idea, but it's like I don't think my videos are very sleep worthy. I yell a lot. It's a good thought. It's a good thought. I like that idea. I really do. Definitely a food for thought. But I feel like with my content, it's not really the ASMR kind of worthy videos. Mine are very expect a lot of rage, yelling, and stuff. So it doesn't really work that way. But I appreciate it. I appreciate any and all thoughts. I appreciate any and all suggestions, feedback, criticism, because how am I going to improve if I don't get the stuff, Anyways, the interview process happened, gap period, yada yada yada. On the one Wednesday, I don't know which one it is, but I did eventually decide to ask. Okay, where are we at? Any updates? If you could share. Which I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to say that out of the gate. I'm not going to say the names. Out of respect, and I don't want anything bad to happen to these people. These people were the loveliest people. I have enjoyed working with them. They do not deserve to get to them. Yeah, one of the managers said, "Oh, the higher ups basically put all that interview on pause again." So you're telling me it was on pause prior to that? Then the CVs and job applications and CVs were being accepted in during that period, and then the higher ups told one of the range branches, where I worked at, was they basically told them oh yeah, by the way, stop the interviews. We're putting that on pause. We can't hire anybody. And and when I heard that, I had a million different thoughts. Why? What's the fucking point? What is the point? Why would it that you had paused it before, when I came in, you did the interview during the time where I was still doing that, you know, still doing it like, during when I was there, and then you suddenly, actually we don't want to do that. We don't actually want to do that. Let's put that back on pause. Let's put that back on pause. And I know it's, you know, I know they're trying to save money, but it's like, I don't know how much the range is worth, you know, so I wouldn't know. Feel free to search it up for I could care less. But it's like, okay, so then why bother? And that was just like the most annoying thing. It was the most frustrating thing. Like, oh, what's the point? What's the point? What is the point? And bear in mind, you know, like, this isn't like the managers weren't the issue. In fact, the managers who I talked to were the loveliest people I've ever talked to. You know, loveliest people. Like having a conversation with these people, so great. You know, like even if it's just small talk, you know, we do talk from time to time. And then at the end of my placement, you know, when I was talking about what I've learned and discovered, you know, to take on to where I would go next, you know, like, it was just nothing but, you know, positive, you know? It was positive, you know? I enjoyed my time, you know, to say the least, you know? Lovely managers, you know, great bunch of people who I worked with while I was there for the 8 months, you know? And yeah, called my piece. I try and join my Discord. Yeah, and by the way, if you do want to, if anyone here does want to join, there is the link. See what it's like. Well, feel free to join. Yeah, can't speak. Feel free to join, and if it's not for you, then you know, you can always leave at any time. And I've made it as simple to get in. You know, like you don't need like some stupid like membership requirements or any like you know, like all those kind of silly things, stupid like requirements that other channels would require you to do before you can accept the rules. Basically, click link, accept rules, you are in. Like tops. Like I have made it super simple because that's what I wanted with the server. And hell, even when I get memberships as well, even when I get memberships as well, I just want the only time where you would have to connect your YouTube and Discord together is so then you can access the exclusive, like let's say Discord perks, you know, like members only Discord perks, you know, which I have talked about it. I have talked about it. You know. So, yeah. So yeah, like, you know, there's the Discord, and then obviously, you know, on my channel page, you know, I have other links to like Twitch, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Ko-fi, and the others, you know. Too many Discord servers let under 13s join. that is sadly a thing. Yeah, I made mine 16 because I feel like that is fair from my point of view. I mean, I know it will limit those who are much younger than what they actually are. But like it will limit my growth ability for it. But like I'm willing to just like so be it. Like so be it. Look, like I want my server to have like I don't mind having a slow growth across either this channel, my server, or my other social medias. I don't mind having slow growth, Yeah. So yeah, I've just made it as, fair, simple, there's no complications, just read rules, accept them, you're done. There's nothing more after that, Once you are in, you are, and accept the rules, you can interact with the community, check out all the available channels and whatnot. Who knows, maybe there might be some channels that might finally actually start getting used as the server grows. Right. I don't know if there's anything else that you lot in chat want to talk about. Maybe if there's any games that you want my thoughts on, or if there's anything this year you've enjoyed, I mean, this year as well, I've also been to a place called Arcade Club. It's essentially like a free play, like arcade amusement place. So essentially, you pay one price, and then all machines are essentially on like free play. So you basically just go up to the machine and just play. You don't have to insert like a coin. And one of the things I like about Arcade Club, I'll get into the things that I'll get into the place in a bit. I'll get into because I saw a comment. I'll get into my criticism. Is what I want to try. Is what I wanted to say. I'll get into my criticisms of the place later. One thing that I actually like about it is, they have like some Japanese like games. They have some Japanese like games. It is, I like it. They have a DDRX machine. That is the Japanese one, and it's not that crappy, awful ones that you see in like most public arcades that still have them running. It's baffling, by the way, that they're still running these they're still running like DDRX machines that are not the good ones. The ones at Arcade Club is an actual like good one, and it feels like the pads feel good to play. It's been properly maintained. The amusement works. All that stuff. Like it just feels good. By the way, to answer your question, yes, it's a free, it's a pay one price, play all day kind of arcades. And it has 4 floors. The one that I've been to. I've been to the one in Bury, and I've been to the one in Leeds. I have to say, the Bury one, like, if you ever come to this country, and let's say if you're around the Manchester area, like, if you're staying in Manchester, definitely go to Arcade Club in Bury. It's really good. Like, if they have... If there's a machine that you just can't find in a public arcade, like, it is likely, like, let's say if you're looking for some rhythm games to play. Obviously, the only rhythm games you're gonna find in a public arcade likely is either Pump It Up, Step Maniacs, or Dance Dance Revolution. Whereas in Arcade Club, you'll find plenty. There are plenty. Like on the ground floor, you have DDR, Step Maniacs, Guidatora, both Drum Mania and Guitar Freaks. Yeah, they have like a Mario Kart one, which was like a Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2, but it was a Japanese one. Yeah, it's a very fun, you know. And then when you're on the second one, you know, you've got like more of the other modern games, but there's also still some Japanese ones. Floor 2 is retro and arcade machines like Mario Kart and DDR. Yeah, that sounds like it. Yeah, Floor 3 is modern. So the first two floors in Arcade Club. Are modern. Like you've got a mixture of modern and like a bit of dance games as well. The third floor is like Japanese like imports and like rhythm games. So you know like your Sound Voltex, your Groove Coaster, your Guitar Hero Arcade, My, if you've heard that. In the Groove 2, which is not actually running in the Groove 2 official software, by the way. It's running a Simply Love. 2 DDR machines, Poppin' Music, Beatmania, 2DX. I forgot which version it was running. But I did play a little bit of Beatmania 2DX. It's actually really good. I definitely have to go back there and maybe play a little bit more of that. Maybe actually use my e-amusement pass as well. What else? Ubi as well. You know, like it's like that kind of like that whack-a-mole kind of rhythm game. If any of you have played that as well. Well, I know something funny. Go on then. I think I've almost played all the rhythm games. I think I played a bit of Sound Voltex. I'm not really good at it. I definitely want to try a little bit more of the rhythm games. Also the non-rhythm games. Because mainly I've been playing more of the dance games. Because I like those more. But I definitely want to try some of the ones where you're not using your... where you're not using your feet. I'll tell you what, Dance Rush Stardom is definitely a game that is very physically demanding on you. Like you will gas out quicker if you've not got the stamina for it. You know. Actually, speaking of DDR. Do have a DDR Classic Mini right here. What a beauty this is. So on a school trip to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, my friend on a dollar coaster was scared and held my hand, and when it went down, he laid right by my legs. This was a couple of years ago. Right by my legs. We left, and then he threw up on you, bro. Jeez, that was okay. That was insane. I've been to By the way, I've been to Blackpool many times. Many times. I know there is an arcade club there, but I've heard it's not actually as good as the Leeds or Bury one from what I heard. It's only like 2 floors from what I heard. I don't know. Believe whatever you want. I'm always under the notion of like, you know, go to the place and experience it for yourself and see if you agree or disagree. You know? Anyways, I have a DDR Classic Mini. You know, when I saw the videos of the other people like getting this machine, I thought this was a lot smaller. Like on the camera, you think this is a lot smaller than what it is. In real life, it ain't small. I'll tell you that. It is actually fairly big for a miniature DDR like cabinet. It does work, by the way. I just don't have it plugged in right now. I'll tell you what, it's definitely something, but you know, I kind of like it. You know, it's kind of like it's like the ones that you would see in like public arcades that are like that clearly have never left. Clearly have never left the 90s. Clearly, they're still running arcade machines from that years. You got AirPods 4. Nice. Hope you enjoy them. And for your birthday, the reviews said they don't fit well in your ears. They fit really well in your ears, and it's really good. I do have AirPods Pro right here. These are the old these are like the Gen 1 ones. So you know, like you've got just the Lightning, which I know the new ones. Which I know the new ones. Like the ones that Apple sell now are the USB-C ones. I was almost tempted to buy a new AirPods Pro with that USB-C and the MagSafe one. I ended up not doing that, of course. Ended up getting some Sony ones. Use a Nintendo charger for your iPad and AirPods. Probably not the best idea to do that, but okay. You do you. Probably not the best idea to use a different branded charger. But, you know, if it works for you, it works for you. The ones they come with is too short. Yeah, you do. I mean, if you're wondering where I'm looking at, I'm just looking at the ones that I have. But the thing is that I also have it plugged into an extension, so it's literally fine for me. Also, I trust Nintendo instead of buying it off of Amazon. And I'll set aside my DDR, my mini DDR machine, which does have 3 games, by the way. This small cabinet. It does also come with the platforms as well, like, you know, the stage and the like the bar. So let's say if you were like a DDR player where, you know, you're pretty like, you know, you can really like get to like the 10s and above, you know, you would usually start holding behind start holding behind the bar, you know, as you like playing. And obviously if you're a casual, you know, you're not going to do that, obviously. The only one thing I honestly find annoying, and I know casuals aren't going to notice this unless it was like either pointed out to them. The one thing that is annoying is when both of the feet are standing in the center of the platform. Now, the game, which I believe the the only time where that has been told to you is in DDR Hardest Party 1, 2. I can't remember which one it actually introduced. You know, the lessons by DJ that you would see nowadays in, like, you know, games like DDR Ace to A3, because they got rid of that in DDR World. Let me get one. Show you what I mean. Okay, so pretend this right here is, you know, the platform, like the DDR stage, which, I mean, it literally is. It has that, okay? What I'm pretty sure if you are a, you know, like a regular DDR player, hey, no worries, stop motion, catching in a bit. The one thing most DDR players will do is they'll put their feet like on the left and right arrows. Like so, you know, like with these two fingers here are like, you know, to replicate, you know, someone's legs and feet. They put them here, and that's what I do, right? Because then once that happens, it's like it makes it easier, you know, to just, you know, hit the arrows. You know, I mean, I'm not doing a good job in demonstrating this, but you get what I mean. Now, what casuals do, who probably don't realize it or probably don't even care, you know, is, you know, they'll put their feet on. They'll put their feet on in the center of the stage. I don't know. How can I better do this? Let's do it like this, okay? So this is what it looks like as a DDR player. This is what it feels like as a casual. I don't know if it's making my case any better. Whereas a DDR player, if you get what I mean, you get what I mean. And the one thing as well is this is more particular to 5-panel dance games like Step Maniacs and Pump It Up. They don't take into consideration as well of the center panel, you know. They do not take into consideration the center panel. Which, I mean, I know this just sounds like me complaining for the sake of complaining or ranting for the sake of it, but it's like, it is like not hard. Like, when you were choosing the level, which I know most casuals will probably go for the cabinet buttons over the stage, but in Pump It Up's case, you can navigate the entire game using nothing but the stage, and that's how I navigate Pump It Up's UI, only using the stage. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've, you know, I don't think there's ever been a time where I've simply used the cabinet button, like ever. Anyways, look, I know this is me just complaining, but, you know, it's just my my 2 cents, you could say, on it. But yeah, Arcade Club is fun, you know, best place, like, if you go to Manchester, like, if you go on a trip, and you stay in a hotel in Manchester, definitely plan a trip to Arcade Club. It is the best place. Now, what I will say, in my criticisms to that, is a few things. One, the Step Maniacs machine is always set to one song, which is like kind of crazy because it's like, okay, the DDR cabinet, like the DDR, the DDR-A3 has 3, gives you up to 3, yet Step Maniacs doesn't, which I know it, which I have seen it seems like it came from a previous arcade location as well. But it had the, you know, like the £1 like print put on it. It seems like I don't think it was there originally, but it was just put on there. So every time, like, you know, when you're there and like your song finishes, it would go to, like, you know, like the thanks for playing screen immediately. You know, like it would go there immediately to it. So anytime that you want to, like, let's say, play another song, you essentially have to click play, and if you have the app on your phone, you would essentially just have to keep logging in all the time. You would have to keep logging in all the time. It gets annoying. I have been tempted. I was so tempted to ask the staff, like, hey, can you increase the amount of songs a person on this machine to play from 1 to maybe like 2 or 3. Like 3 should be like 2 is fine, but 3 is the default, because like if you can get three like songs of DDR and only 1 of Step Maniacs, so and I know, you know, like casuals would just leave as soon as the song finished, so it kind of makes sense in that way to just game over at that rate. But it's like, you do realize you have 2 more. You have like 2 more songs to go, right? Like you're not done. My other criticism of it is the Pump It Up machine is not running an official mix. It's running a simulator of Pump It Up Prime or Double X whenever it's running Double X. The marquee, box, and stage don't even light up. And that also goes for DDR. The 2 DDR machines, like one of them is now just even running Simply Love. I mean, hey, you know, we're on you, but like, did you not just have another, like, could you not have just installed a Konami like Python 2 or a 573 and just run like Dancing Stage Euromix on it, or DDR Supernova 2 in local mode? The ITG2 machine did have, like, you know, some lights, but it was just 3 lights there. But yeah, and then the marquee, the little marquee thing with where the graphic is, it's very dim, and it clearly looks like, you know, it was kind of like whirring, like it was going to go out at any point. Which I have seen like photos of it before. It looked like that, and it looked like, you know, it looked fine. It literally looked like that. And it's like also the neon lights where, you know, where the lights are also flashing on the neons where the music is blasting out. Yeah, that wasn't working either. So yeah, I hope for, you know, if anyone from Arcade Club is ever watching this stream, which I doubt they will because I'm relatively too small. I'm only 2,000. What are we? 490 subscribers, I think. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. 2,491. So yeah, a 4,090 size YouTube channel. Yeah, that definitely isn't going to cut it, isn't it? It's definitely not going to get through to any of the arcade club people. But who knows? Maybe if someone who is watching this channel is a viewer and works at arcade club, who knows? Maybe I can. Maybe hey, like let's talk if I'm there ever again. And talk about let's get these machines actually fixed. I think the one thing I will say to Arcade Club is like hire people who know like the machines. Like let's say like for the dance games, hire people who know how to fix these machines, who knows how to get the official mixes, and stuff like, and knows where to buy the parts for them, so that they can keep them in their original shape. Because let's say they sell them off later down the road, which I don't think they will, but let's just say they do, then at least like you can say that they have what's its face? At least you could say that they've gone to the effort of like getting everything as as where it was last seen when they purchased it. Which I was also told as well at one point. I think it was February. It was June, February when I was there, and yeah, I literally they told me at one point that there wasn't in the ITG2 Dedicab. There was an MK6, but the motherboard has been dead for years, and I'm like, okay, so why don't you just repair it then? Like, you're our tech guys, right? And then he just like says, but as long as it works, which I'm gonna be honest, I hate that. I hate like, well, as long as it's working, should be fine. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, are you just gonna leave a machine just looking completely and utterly lifeless? Like, are you just literally going to leave an arcade machine like looking lifeless? And the thing is, the MK6, which is literally just a computer. Sorry, sorry if I'm feeling itchy. Probably this mustache that keeps bugging it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so strange. It's just so strange. I'm gonna be honest. Anyways, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a very, very Merry Christmas to you all. And who knows, maybe before the end of this year, maybe there might be another stream, another gaming stream. I don't know. It depends on that stupid, on both my laptop and my capture card working together. But I did test it. It did seem to be working just fine. So who knows? Maybe it will work fine. Anyways, you all have been awesome. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.